So our next step is going to be to iron our fabric, do all of the folding, and get it prepped for the sewing. First thing I like to do is I'll take a spray bottle and I will just spray the fabric down a little bit. This is the side that's up right now is actually the wrong side. The right side is face down. And this will make a little bit more sense once we do some ironing. But I just like to have a nice flat fabric before I start doing any of my folding. So I spray it down and I'm going to iron, press, and I'm using the heat to evaporate the water, and it'll help make a nice flat fabric. Okay. Then the next step is going to be to spray it again. And then we need to fold in half. So what I typically do is I will focus on one end first. And we're just going to make sure we get really well lined up, at least at the corner here. I'm going to grab the iron and set that down while I spray and focus on the next few inches in front there. I just get it lined up really, really well. Give it about 15 to 20 seconds here to evaporate. You can really see the color difference. This is dry and this is what's wet. So we can see how I'm really focusing on lining everything up. Each little step might not seem that important, but it really does make the job easier as you go along. One thing you can check, you'll know it's done when you don't see any more steam rising. If there's steam, that means there's still moisture that's evaporating. So what we're working to achieve in this step is we are just creating a center crease down our fabric so that when we do the next step, we'll know exactly where to fold our inside edges to. So while you're still finishing that end of step one, you can go down here and start on step two. I personally like to wait because it can be a little tricky to see where your crease was before. So I find it a little bit easier just to wait. Still a little damp. Be careful as you remove the iron. Your fabric can still be very hot or very warm to the touch, so we just don't want you to get burned. Set this off here. Then we're going to open this up and you will have a crease down your fabric. You'll need to spray again. And I'm just going to work again just a little bit at a time. I'm going to fold this in. Give you a better view here. I'm going to zoom in just a touch. So I really just want this raw edge, which is just because it's called raw because you would cut it, to get just to the center there, that crease that you created by folding that last step. We're going to set the iron down. And in the beginning here, I find it a lot easier if I try to avoid ironing over that center crease so it's still there. So just about 5 to 10 seconds to start here to get that held down. Spray the other side. We're going to fold that one in. And what we need to achieve here is these ends should come to the center and meet, but not overlap. And now I can set my iron down over both sides. Now we're just going to work our way down, folding to the center. But again, not overlapping. Oof. Kind of using the folded outside, how it's rolled kind of right now. I'm using that to my advantage to help just sort of roll it into the center here. I'm making sure that I'm keeping this somewhat snug so that it's not bubbling on this other layer here. Now you can use pins or clips for this step, but that can be a little tricky because you don't want to be ironing those. The beads on the pins are mostly plastic, so if you were to accidentally set your iron on one, you would then melt it, and we don't want that. We don't want that plastic on our irons. We don't want that getting stuck in our fabric. So I have found that watering it down, spraying it down just like this is a pretty effective and efficient way as we go along. All right, one more section here. And then we'll be on to the final step of ironing. So the final step of ironing is where we are going to spray, and we are going to fold one more time. So our raw edges are going to stay in just like that. And we will fold this way, again, making sure that our edges are just meeting here. We want them as lined up as best as possible. So I will spray this section down. Bring my iron over here. we will fold. I like to press, just pat it down and set the iron. Okay, so we'll just keep going, and then there we go. Okay. We just need to do this all the way through, and then we'll be able to be done with this step. Just checking to see how dry it's getting here. Sometimes if your mat is just too wet from all of the spraying, it's not going to be able to absorb a lot of that or evaporate a lot of that water. So I have found just using the iron to help get rid of some of that moisture, as well as just moving your work down here, will help a lot as well. And this is exactly what it should look like when you are done. Edges meeting very nicely, just like that. Ready to go.